partial readers of such scriptures, they say, well, and they call themselves the champions of non-violence. All over the world, I have faced this question 15 times that this uh, Bhagavad Gita is not the proper scripture for mankind because it advocates violence. Arjuna was going to stop the war. He was a non-violent person. But this fellow Krishna, the teacher of Bhagavad Gita, he is inciting violence there. But no, there is nothing like, this virtue which is full of timidity and getting chickened out like that. So, that is the word that will be used by Krishna now for Arjuna, that it is Klaibhyam Asma Gama Partha Naitatvai Upapadyate Shudram Hridaya Daurbalyam. You can imagine, these words are like Krishna is whipping Arjuna, giving slashes after slashes, really. Calling Arjuna a person of such a tremendous strength and valor. Uh, that you chicken out like this. It is you are scared. Uh, so hurts Arjuna's self pride. Oh no, no! I'm what? What are you doing? It is just like that coming from Krishna. Even now, Arjuna is not thinking of Krishna as his teacher. He is just seeking some friendly advice, mostly supportive of the argument. Did I not give a very nice speech? So, yeah, so come on. He suggests to Krishna, right in this, that come on, both of us, let us go begging, the kingdom and all. We don't care about. Not only himself, he ropes in Krishna also there. We both, you take one begging bowl, I will take another. Let us both go and beg. Uh, so he thought that that such endeavor will be completely agreed upon by his friend Krishna, but no, Krishna is giving slashes after slashes. It is whipping him like anything. That Klaibyam Masmagama Partha Swami Vivekananda. See, a personality of the stature of Vivekananda considers this to be the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita. That this is the verse needed for our population, which goes into despondency, which consider laziness and complacency as virtues. No, we have to rise up. We have to learn to face this situation boldly, take on the challenges. Uh, do not just try to run away somehow, escape from the situation. This is no, you will go down and down. Arjuna now. Klaipyam masmagama partha naitatvai upapadyate. Remember that glory that you have been held by everyone in a deserved manner. Uh, a great fighter, standing up to the truth, standing up to the ideal, embracing that with both hands. That is what you are. And here, what do I see? You, a terrible mental wreck. This doesn't become you. A strong, this thing, criticism is necessary. That so-called sweet words, they are not going to be useful here. That it is the one who is really wants the good of the person should see that the advice becomes effective. It goes deep. So a cut needs to be given there. Surgery has to be done. I told that example, that wonderful experience in United States. If you do something, even 50% of that, you will be sued for $1 million. Uh, that we were going in the mobile dispensary, and then there was the school, and a little student in the school. Uh, I think some 9, 10 years old, maybe, and she had a wound on her toes, and then a lot of pain. It had formed lot of pus there, and that septic was getting set in, and she was not letting anybody touch that wound. It is she had tied some cloth on it, and then the teacher brought to the doctor, and teacher was trying to tell in sweet words, no, no, you will get well, it is just the doctor will just apply ointment, give you some medication, and then you will be all right, and just open the wound. No, she wouldn't do that. She would, and the more attention was being paid. Oh, nice you are. She was doing more of that drama. When the drama means what? When you are applauded, you get more into that stuff. So our doctor said, okay, okay, I'll come there. Uh, and then the doctor came after finishing a few patients there, came there, gave a slap across the face of that girl, and that stunned that. And in the moment the doctor opened the wound, removed the pus, gave some lacerations there to get everything out, and then applied the ointment. The girl was smiling after 2 minutes. Yeah. So this is, the proper treatment. Huh? Huh? That is could have, we don't know. One slap was good enough. Ah, and it was a really hard slap. Not like that. No, not like that. It is, yeah, a slap with that really scolding voice. What are you up to? You stupid! And thus that stunned that girl for 1 minute. She was expecting that kind, sweet. That does not work. It is spare the rod and what, Vittel? Spare the rod and spoil the child. So it is, so it is, and that they, in 2 minutes she started smiling when that pus was taken out and the ointment was applied. So what I mean is, at the looking at the situation, the proper treatment has to be given. It could be very unpleasant to begin with, but the Sri Krishna is the right counselor, not appointed by getting some so-called degrees and so forth. You say, so it is. He said that those words which will make Arjuna see, and in that dazed that, oh, Krishna says like that, it is Shudram Hriday Daurbalyam, more words, Hriday Daurbalyam, you are this imbecile, Kshudram, Hridaya Daurbalyam, the weakness of your mind, this imbecile weakness of your mind, kick it out and stand up. You Parantapa, that you are the scorchers of foes, Parantapa. You have defeated so many enemies. Nobody would look at the prospect of standing against you in your normal mode. But what have you brought on to yourself? So, this is this Arjuna's despondency. Now, Arjuna turns to Krishna for advice. Now he sees his situation. Otherwise, he was thinking of himself as a great saint, the prophet of non-violence to be recognized by the whole world with great reverence. No, uh, you imbecile weakling, it is, and just you are creating a facade of non-violence. What is non-violence? Mm. During our student days, how one of my teachers explained this version, this idea of non-violence. There used to be that big wrestler. He was called Dara Singh. It is so. He says that suppose that did you hear of Dara Singh Lakshman? So yeah, he was a champion wrestler. Uh, okay. You fought with him? Okay. Uh, so it is. Well, yeah, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So uh, he said, suppose that Dara Singh comes and gives you a blow, you will fall down immediately. Then Dara Singh, I let you go. I am a non-violent person. I am letting you go. Does it make sense? It is just rank foolishness. This is not non-violence. There, yes. Huh? Mahatma Gandhi was not wrong as such. See, the presentation of Mahatma Gandhi is actually Ranganathananji has spoken about it here. He was not for a non-qualified all the time non-violence like that. Non-violence is a weapon of strength. That is, then it becomes applicable. There are many letters of Mahatma Gandhi describing when he would prefer violence. So that is why Mahatma Gandhi was a great follower of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. So it is. So here we see then that makes this Arjuna now seeks the advice. And that look, Krishna, how can I? What is time now? 11:20. So we have a few more minutes. Krishna, how can I in battle shoot arrows at men like Bhishma and Drona? He tries to push forward his case, that I understand what you are saying, but look at the big dilemma I am facing. Krishna, see this Bhishma and Drona. Drona was my teacher who taught me archery. Bhishma, on whose lap, as right from children we played, who lovingly brought us up. Uh, and I have such reverence for both of them. Instead of offering flowers at their feet, how can I just shoot arrows to kill them? Ah, I don't get it. A dilemma is there, Then Guru Nahatva hi Mahanubhavan presses this point further that great people, they try to achieve lot of merits and victories and everything without killing the gurus, without killing their teachers. And they are trying to achieve the best things in the world. But I do not see it is if we go to kill these our great teachers and our elders, our beloved relatives, then it will bhunjiya bhogan radhira pradigdhan. Then we will get all the enjoyments soaked in their blood. Hmm. Arjuna is not short of words, he also has, yeah. So is, but then he confesses, न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः. Now his fear also is getting expressed. That look, I don't know what is better for us. Kataranno Gariyo, whether to fight or not to fight, what is better? Whether we will win or whether they will win. Arjuna was aware he was not going to fight with ordinary foes. And there was like Bhishma. And there was nobody who could have defeated Bhishma. He openly said, there is no way any of you, including Arjuna, have the power to defeat and kill me. Not possible. Similarly, Drona, there was Karna, great warriors, a big army of great warriors was there. It is not that some pushovers are being to be, going to be fought with. And so, who will win? Very dicey situation. And so, who will win? Who knows? And killing all these my close relatives and beloved elders and teachers, well, I don't want to leave. After all, we want to get kingdom and all to enjoy together. Ah, it should be a collective enjoyment, all of us enjoying together. Killing them, what is the use of this kingdom then? No, I don't care. Arjuna is speaking only about this thing out of this state of ambivalence now. But he is now seeking the advice, a great step forward. He is now has become a seeker. Now, here Krishna is transformed from being just a friend to a teacher. This transformation is, very important transformation. Till now, Krishna is just my friend, and they were also cousins. And so it is from Arjuna's mother's side. Krishna was his maternal uncle's son. So it is, they were all very close friends, played together, poked fun at each other, like the friends do. All that. Now that is being shifted to teacher. It's a shift. It is. So he asked Krishna now, look, I am suffering from this despondency and clouded mind and nervous breakdown. Hmm. This confession comes. कार्पण्यदोषो अपहतस्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यत् श्रेयस्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. I am your disciple, your student, your pupil. I am your pupil, Shishyasteham. Please, Shadhimam, Tvam Prapannam. I have come to take refuge in you. I am prostrating before you. See, the friends, one friend doesn't go to prostrate before another friend. That suggestion is preposterous. But here now the transformation has happened. So Arjuna says, Shadimam Tvam Prapannam, the one who has surrendered to you, has taken refuge in you. Shadhimam, please take me out of this terrible mire in which I am stuck. Uh, Mire of despondency, the complete total nervous breakdown. I have seen one person, he actually was our very illustrious Swami and very capable. uh, has been known for taking the proper decisions. Nobody saw him ambivalent or uh, in a mood of depression, nothing like that. But then certain things happen in life. Hmm. He had undertaken and very well thought. I mean, nothing that it is certain projects and met terrible failure. And then everybody is with you when you succeed. Failure has no companions. I didn't do it, I didn't, no, that was you alone. And he had a nervous breakdown. Mm. Only he was wise enough to know that. So he therefore said, well, for some time, I will just go for pilgrimage and I will meditate. I will think about this situation. It will not be possible for me to do work at this time. So that is how, nervous breakdown. I saw him. He was much senior to me and was one of my mentors. So uh, that is how this, but one must admit it. One must not, say that no, things are hunky dory with me. Yeah, no. I am seeking your advice. It is, I am in this situation, stuck in this. Please guide me. Please take me out of this situation. Huh? Look at this, It is, uh, till then, Sri Krishna is not giving any advice. Hmm. Now is the time when it is being sought. And then it is, there is meaning to it. Then Krishna's advice will be acceptable. It is so. Uh, Here is this situation of despondency. This it becomes a yoga. It makes us turn towards God. Despondency comes in everybody's life in lesser or more degree, but very few use it to connect to God, to the higher ideal of life. Hmm. See, the life of Arjuna gets transformed completely. Uh, where did this transformation began? In that state of nervous breakdown, depression, despondency. Now, it now decided to take this turn for the better. It is sometimes you hit the rock bottom and then you go up. Like Teresa asked me, Swami, are you going up? I am in the basement. So there is no way I can go down. So I have to go up only. So it is. So it is. Uh, so it is. There is like that. No way. It is all dark. It is so Arjuna um, is wise enough to seek advice from Krishna, and that is it gets connected now. It becomes yoga now, and we saw that this is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Bhagavad Gita, every chapter is a yoga. Means through each of that you can get connected to God. Yoga is this forming this connection with God. So now with despondency, yes, and thus this becomes now a tool. So let us take this lesson from that despondency comes in our life, everybody's life. Hmm. That, oh, it is at workplace your work was not approved and you get your evaluation was not according to your expectation, then you feel down, depressed, angry, and so forth, you see. And now, instead of dwelling on that, learn, use it to connect to God. It is so. It is a window. The feeling of despondency, the feeling of indecision. It may not be of this severe type, but it comes, and now use it to turn to God. It is and that Swami that I told you about, that nervous breakdown and so forth. So, see how wisely he himself would turn the situation of despondency to, to upliftment. And that day in the office, he was my boss superior. And then we were doing certain works. Every work that day was meeting failure. And things were getting, terribly distressing. Uh, that And so I was feeling kind of sad. He said, hey, look, the situation is very favorable to practice dispassion, isn't it? That is what we monks are for, to practice dispassion. The situation is so favorable to practice dispassion. Well, immediately the cloud moved away. Yeah. So that is how we should train ourselves to use every situation to connect to God, to connect to the ideal of our life. So I will stop here. And are there any questions, any comments? Come on, I cannot read it. Concurrent views 17. Oh, well, there is no such rule. Monks, these days you find wearing saffron, but there is no scriptural injunction to wear saffron clothes. It is they put their clothes in some soil to make them uh, match with the color of the surroundings. And that is as a an indication of poverty. They don't want the fancy colored clothes, so dip it in the soil. Moreover, they are therefore not worried of sitting anywhere. They can sit in the soil, same color, doesn't make much difference. And then the Swamis lived a lot uh, in the regions where the color was like this saffron or ochre, iron ore, iron ore. So it has that kind of reddish tinge. So they used to soak in that soil. But therefore, you will see the Tibetan monks. If you see the Buddhist Tibetan monks, their clothes are, yeah, that kind of chocolate color, because that is the color of the soil there. In some regions in India, the monastics, they wear black robes because of the black soil there. In many regions in India, there is that black cotton soil. So if you soak the cloth, it is a black cloth, but the principle is same. That it is that like that. Uh, any other question? Okay then. Huh? You have a question? Okay. Prepare firstly to know it can hit us at any point without a warning. So at least have that knowledge. So when it comes, because situations in life come very unexpectedly. Many died because of corona. They were not thinking that I will not live another month or so. They had all plans made, but unexpectedly things come up. So tell this is how one should be prepared that things can happen any moment, anything. And there is no reason or rhyme. And that is why it is called the play of the Divine Mother. Anything can happen in that play. Therefore, the nice Sanskrit word for this Mahamaya or Divine Mother is Aghatana Ghatana Patiyasi, means that which cannot happen. Maya will is expert in making it happen. You think that it cannot happen. How will it happen? Come on, look, it happens. So anything can happen. So be prepared. So these, I told in many lectures that these two things to be forgotten, two things to be remembered. What is to be forgotten? What good you did to somebody else. Forget it. Hmm. That person got what he or she deserved. You probably were just a mailman. You have no power to do good to anybody. You didn't do good to anybody. It is that person got what he or she deserved. So do not forget it that you did good, because that keeps thought keeps on reverberating in one's mind. I did such nice turn to him, and now look, when I need that fellow all just flipped. It is no. Then forget what's any bad thing somebody did to you. That it is like that. It is now my life is all gone because this is all. Uh, it is not anybody's fault. Nobody gave you anything. You got what you deserved. Somebody might have been a mailman, that's all. Hmm. Do you shoot the mailman for bringing a big bill to you? No, it is whether the mailman brings you a check of the lottery won by you, you don't give to mailman anything. So it is like that. So be prepared, forget these two things. That is a very good preparation. And let me warn you, it is not as easy as it appears. Hmm. And then what to remember? Death is certain. Hmm. Can come any moment. Death is certain, but the time of death is not certain. What way it will come, nobody knows. But it is certain. Whatever begins has to have an end. Whatever is born has to die. It is, there is, it may come today, tomorrow, or after 50 or 100 years. You never know. It is, I tell the story of our Aparananji. It is about 11 years ago. It was declared that he has about 3 4 weeks to live, and we all Swamis went to take his darshanam. Now uh, came out of hospital saying that then I won't stay in hospital if I have to die anyway in 4 weeks. Why should I? And let me at least stay in our center. So he came to the center, stopped all treatment, and started some dietary treatment and like that. And then I also had gone to see him. Afterwards, I called, and then that attendant said, "Oh, actually, he is improving." And he went on improving. He is still, he became so strong as rarely anybody has seen him strong in last some years before this illness. He became so strong. He came, for our temple opening ceremony. He travels to India every year. Uh, yeah, I don't know if that doctor who pronounced this judgment is alive or not, but you cannot say not that the doctor was wrong. Whatever the science that they had, he predicted. That's all it is. But what I mean is, when that will happen, nobody knows. So death is certain. Hmm. Death is certain, they say here, and taxes are certain. It is. Yeah. So it is. And what else is certain? Self in us, the God in us, that never dies. Hmm. Remember that. God is ever present, uh, never dies. So these two things to be remembered. And those two things earlier told are to be forgotten. Right. So this will make you prepared to face any challenge in life. Right. Good. There is some question here. How to turn bad situation to connect to God is the question. What are some concrete ways to turn to God? For example, more sadhana. Uh, can it not be challenging to meditate when mind is distressed? So it is. This is question of Manish. So Manish, I actually answered your question when I was talking to just now to Prasanna how to get prepared for this. So it is important to remember two things that and forget those two things. So it is that itself is sadhana. Sadhana is not just sitting and meditating. That one must do. meditate, do your mantra, sit, and all that, increase the time and intensity of it. But the main point is that has to get into our day to day living. That it is, and thus you will be, ready. The situation, whatever the situation comes, you will not get uh, swayed by the despondency. One must remember that despondency would come because we have expectations, and so despondency would come, but it will not be able to throw us off the balance. And that is the important thing. Like you are, say, driving in storm, they tell that hold the steering with both hands then. Do not rely. And yes, so there will be, your car will be swaying, shaking, but still it will not go off the road. So that is what one must do. Thank you. Any other question here? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It is, one has to, as you now said, one has to acknowledge that such situation is there. It comes to me, and I have to find a solution for that. It is, now you are on a step where this solution can come to you. That you think first, and then the thinking suggests you the solution. Now, do not hesitate or postpone to apply the solution. Uh, Postponement is understandable, but procrastination is not understandable. That not deciding when to decide, that is a terrible thing. Yeah, it is. Okay, say right now I am busy, tomorrow I will take a decision. Postponement is understandable, but procrastination is the sign of, you are being pushed more into despondency. Procrastination is given in Bhagavad Gita as this sign of the that darkened mind, tamogun. It is this tamas, darkness, and people therefore keep on procrastinating out of terrible attachment. It is, yeah, and so many such examples are there that it is, uh, like you should have done a surgery that is necessary. Okay, right now you have some problem, but then fix the date. 15th, after 15 days, I'll be having it. Let me see when it is to be done. Okay, maybe after that I will think about it. Oh, well, that is called procrastination. Hmm. And the effect of procrastination is disastrous. One must make this sure that I don't procrastinate in anything. It is procrastinate and you are pushed down in a chasm, you see. Uh, it is no. So, whatever you are thinking, and most of us are good thinkers. Good thinkers means we have the capability of thinking. But now, whatever thinking has revealed, and now you have to act on it. Hmm. Now, okay, thinking, and now rethinking on it. It is terrible, you know. It is not really rethinking going to happen there. Arjuna's, rethinking means trying to, run away from the situation. You do not, in fact, the situation catches up with you anyway, by closing your eyes. You cannot, just because you think you cannot see the tiger in front of you doesn't mean the tiger is closing the eyes. It is, yeah. So it is very important that there is this situation, this is the solution. So now act on it. Okay, right now there are some obstacles that you have to clear before you act on it. Okay, put it in the timetable, and that okay, next Wednesday I'm going to do it. It is, see, those who do big works, even means there's let spiritual or even the ordinarily good administrators, they have a very good schedules. This uh, 9 o'clock, this is to be done, and 9:10, this is to be done, and 9:12, this is to be done. The whole calendar is so precisely put in, and they stick to it. It is, and so uh, they feel satisfied that uh, I made good use of the time. I have put everything there in practice. Now, there, of course, you have to be prepared for unforeseen things in spite of all these things that you did. Yeah, it is. That your weather forecast may be wrong, but not no forecasting at all is not the way out. It is. So make the plans and try to stick to them. If some plan goes haywire, plan B, put in the plan B there. That is how the wise administrators do, you see. He is, your dad is a business school man, So, yeah, so it is, that is the way to move for that. Yeah. Okay, then. One more online question. Uh, it is our Manohar Galwade is there. Namaskar, Manohar. And who? Deepak, Deepak Ghosh, yeah. Isn't detachment the first step to address despondency? Well, but that detachment can come with attachment. Detachment is not like the like being detached like a wall has nothing to do with anybody. No, the strong attachment to the ideal must be there. It is, you don't become an inert thing. You become very strongly attached to the ideal, and therefore you are detached from all other things. That is how the detachment is to be practiced. Yeah, and then with detachment, you are right. The next part that that will address despondency. Very correct. Yeah. So let us conclude with the closing prayers. गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यत् शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रः तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु